This is Flare Engine. Welcome. In this tutorial we're going to be adding more functionality to the enemy bot. What we have now is extremely basic, so let's give the AI more to do. Instead of having the AI follow the player immediately, let's set up a patrol area. We are going to create a target that is a set of vector points. We'll call them patrol points. And we'll set the type to follow sequence so the AI can walk back and forth. Now we'll add the 2 points. Their gizmo handles will appear in the scene, and we'll move them to the desired location. We will create another state. We will name it Patrol. We add another follow target, but now this time, we set the target to patrol points. We'll follow the points in the x-axis only, and set the speed to 3. We'll move this state to the top. When the scene starts, the AI state machine will always execute the first state. We go into play mode. The AI is functioning as expected. We see the AI following the points. We also notice the AI is completely oblivious to the player, and that's because the patrol state still doesn't know anything about the player. We'll change that soon. We'll go ahead and exit play mode now. Before we move on, let's add a slope for the AI to walk on. We go into the collision settings of the AI and enable climb slopes. We set a max slope of 80. We'll create a slope by using a 2D hex object. We change the scale. We make sure its layer is set to world so the player and enemy bot can interact with it. And we add a polygon collider 2D and change some sprite rendering settings. We make sure the awkward areas of the collider are below the surface. We only want to collide with acceptable edges. We go into play mode. We see the AI is climbing the slope, but we can make this better. We exit and go back into the collision settings of the AI. We enable rotate to slope and set a value of 0.2 so the AI takes a bit longer rotating to the slope. The AI can now rotate to the slope. We are finally ready to create a territory and a find target node. A territory is basically a rectangle in world space that is used by nodes to find targets. We'll create one, name it territory, and modify its size and position in the scene. We go into the patrol state and add a find target. This node will simply tell the AI if the desired target has been found or lost. Set target to player, set type to territory, which means we'll be using a territory to find the target, and we set the territory. If a node can jump to another state, you'll see this white arrow. This means we can use the onSuccess and onFailure jump to states. If enabled, then the node will jump to the specified state if the condition is met. In this case, once the player goes inside the territory, we will jump to the follow state. We go into play mode. We notice the AI will follow the player forever. It has lost sight of its territory, so to keep the AI in its patrol area, we will add a find target to the follow state. This time, if the player is not inside the territory, we go back into the patrol state. So we jump on failure and return to the patrol state. Okay, that's it for this tutorial. In the next part, we will create an attack state for the enemy bot. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.